The standard bearers step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, to the national anthem. After the anthem, please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this inauguration of the academic year 2022-2023 in this university, the University of Economics and Human Sciences. My name is Aleksandra Krawicka, and it is my pleasure to be the master of this ceremony. On this special day, on behalf of the university authorities, I would like to particularly welcome the honorary guests of our meeting, His Magnificence, the Mazowian Medical School, Dr. Piotr Kusznieruk, Dr. Engineer Michał Czerwiński, the professor of the Military University of Technology. I would like to welcome Dr. Wojciech Puzyna, Director of Specialized Hospital of St. Sophia, Madam Małgorzata Zdradowska, and also Dr. Zimbo, the advisor of the pension fund at the Mazowian, the Ministry of Administration and Internal Affairs. I also would like to welcome Madam Joanna Krogulis, the Organizational Unit Support Specialist. I would like to welcome Mr. Rafał Opaliński, the President of the Foundation Dzieciom. I would like to welcome Madam Małgorzata Pruszyńska, the director of the Michał Konarski Schools in Warsaw. I also would like to welcome Madam Grażyna Torwicka, who will have the inaugurational speech for us today. I also would like to welcome Madam Marzena Godlewska, the Director General of the Educational Society Wizja. I would like to welcome representatives of directors of schools associated in the Wizja Society. I also would like to welcome all the research and administrative staff of the university, and especially would like to welcome you, dear students, as well as your families and those and your relatives. I also would like to welcome all those guests who I have not mentioned but are here with us online. Welcome. We are very glad to have you with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask His Magnificence Rector to take the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, our distinguished guests, friends of our university, dear professors, and dear students. The inauguration of the academic year is a moment when in this beautiful room all the student society is gathered. I am very glad to be able to see all of you here. Many of you know our university perfectly well because you have been working and collaborating with the university for a number of years, some of you even for 20 years. Some of you already study and have been studying with us for some semesters, I hope that less than 20 years. But among us, there are also those who have just joined our university, and that's why I would like to direct my words to those newcomers, the students of the first grade, of the first academic year. But of course, I hope that all of you will be able to find something for and take something away for themselves. On the verge of your academic adventure, I would like to tell you say a few words about the universities, what it is like you're going to study here. The Austrian philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein once wrote those words: "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." A similar truth can be found in a Czech proverb that reads, "The one who uses a foreign language is the one who is able to have like a second life." Depending on the number of foreign languages you speak, you can live parallel lives. I would like to extend this metaphor and to extend it to not to a single person, an individual, but to an institution like the university. I'm very glad and I can proudly say that the University of Economics and Human Sciences has those many lives and is still extending its world and expanding, because this is the university where you can hear a number of foreign languages. In this very well, literally, you can hear at least 68 different languages from all over the world, because so many countries are represented by students of this university. Among our professors and lecturers, we also have those academics coming from various worlds and various countries, Iran, Indonesia, to name a few. So you have chosen a place that is international in its character. You will be able to meet here people of various colors, skin colors, religions, and opinions. We are distinguishable among other universities, and we have the best possible indexes in terms of the number of international students joining this university, and we are the leader among others. And I'm sure that we'll be able to continue this leadership and to maintain this leadership position, because we are still open to new students, open to new lecturers from still new places in the world. We are able to provide education in various languages, and we open still more and more faculties and departments. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from those many languages, international languages, I may say about our university the fact that here we use not only international languages but also the language of tolerance, respect, and understanding for everyone, and respect to those who require some support on their educational pathway. I mean here those with disabilities. I was very glad to hear from Madame Ola Głowacka, who is in charge of the disabled students bureau office. So I heard from her that we have a record number of students joining the university, students with disabilities. I was very glad to hear that those students choose this university because they can count on our support here. And this is the fact. Dear students, our hearts are open. We have the necessary money and funds to adjust to your needs, and that's what we're doing, indeed. Our university is an institution that uses the language of science. That's obvious. Why am I mentioning it? Because there aren't many non-public universities ready to provide a part to invest its funds in research, international research. Our university for 20 years has carried out intense researches. We apply for scientific grants, and our lecturers and our academic staff publish their research results in the best scientific publications. Some 2 months ago, the university was awarded a full, the highest scientific category, B+ in all 4 scientific faculties and departments. We carried out our research. We are one of, there aren't many non-public universities able to appoint habilitated doctors, university professors in the areas such as accounting and finance, political studies, computer technology. And for that purpose, we have a newly elected scientific council. Let me also add that we have already started establishing new such councils, like language studies and healthcare studies. And thanks to those high scientific categories, we can expand even more and develop. Ladies and gentlemen, our university wouldn't be able to speak the language of science without speaking the language of didactics, the knowledge, education. So we need students who are educated here to be able to do that. The language of studies is the language, our basic language, our native language. Dear students, what does it mean for you? Well, the principle The main principle of the foundation of our education is to demand for you much, at the same time providing the necessary support so that you can get this higher education, and so that you will be able to carry out your dreams, to make your dreams come true, and to be professional in all those different spheres. We don't want to stop you. We want to help you and assist you, also in overcoming all the barriers and problems. We have engaged professors, we have engaged lecturers, but not only. We constantly change the shape of our educational process, responding to your inquiries and your petitions. We want to continue with the remote educational process, alongside with the in-house educational system. We promote students' contacts with our academic staff, both in this building, but also remotely. I believe that this flexible form of education will represent a very useful facilitation for you. I remember my discussions with those applicants applying to this university, and I remember hearing from them that many of them would say that thanks to this flexibility, those students would be able to work, to study, and to have the family life.
Another language that is spoken at our university is the language of modernity. It is expressed by the fact that you will study in this beautiful campus constructed 3 years ago for our own purposes. You will have an opportunity to study at a state-of-the-art modern faculties and courses. Let me stress that in the current academic year, we will launch a record-breaking number of new and modern faculties and courses. A few years ago, it was the dietary studies, and now we have cosmetology, English philology, German philology, ICT, the second stage, cybersecurity, the bachelor's degree, and the engineer course, new media and public relations, security, and international relations. We launched 3.5 year courses for graduates from other courses in psychology and law. It's a great chance to graduate from prestigious university for people with a master's degree. For all candidates who don't know Polish enough or the main language, we have prepared the so-called foundation year. And I'm especially happy and proud of something which is the first in Poland, the prestigious course in fashion design and sustainable fashion management. And this course will be held in English. The graduates from this course will acquire a diploma in art and will obtain fashion manager competence. Let me point out how the spectre, the scope of courses offered by us is getting expanded from economic courses to arts. And quite recently, I've got a positive opinion of the Polish accreditation body, which issued its positive opinion on our plan to launch a course in pharmacy that we will co-manage together with the Warsaw Military University of Technology. It's a great success. Such dynamic growth of our university and our development plans, and you're not aware of all of them, that force us to reorganize the structure of our university. Starting from the 1st of October, our university has been divided into 6 faculties. This is the Faculty of Humanities and Art, Faculty of Business, Faculty of Information Technologies, Faculty of Human Sciences, Faculty of Social Studies, and Faculty of Medical and Healthcare Studies. In a minute, I will hand over the nominations to the deans and pro-deans of these faculties. Another language which is spoken at our university and that we learn is the language of social responsibility. In line with the mission of our university, we want to educate and train our students to take over the responsibility for the social and economic life of our country and, in case of foreigners, of their countries. With regard to the implementation of these missions, the first year courses have been expanded by the obligation to implement a social project. I think it's something new at the scale of entire Poland. We focus on this endeavor, and an evidence of that is that the presentation of this social project is one of 3 conditions of passing the final diploma exam. Through implementation of social projects, our students will need to prove that they can work in project-based methods, which is prevailing in the economic life. And apart from that, they are able to implement efficiently and document pro-social activity. Last year, our students implemented about 500 of such projects. It's a great power and great impact of our university at the social and economic landscape on smaller and larger communities. Let me enumerate just some of these projects in order to give you a broader picture of the scope of our activity. So the elderly people cannot settle their personal income tax. That means that they were taught to do so. Bread for a homeless, revitalization of the greenery at Karmelicka 25 in Warsaw backyard, dissemination and fostering knowledge of import of vehicles from the United States, reducing of the scope of obligation and workload through partial automation of data flow processes in relation to expansion of the system of data flow between the collision and claim team and other teams at Hercules Infrastructure Spółka ZOO. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from all these languages I enlisted, there is another special language that became a language of our university. It's Ukrainian. And despite the fact that we used to hear people speaking Ukrainians before in our university, on the 24th of February, Ukrainian became an important language to all members of our community. It's a language that we have deep in our hearts, and it's a sign of our solidarity with the Ukrainians. This solidarity is expressed in many ways through organization of support and help to the Ukrainians coming to Poland and these fighting on the front line. All the time, our students engage in support for Ukraine, together with our administrative employees and lecturers. We need to remember about solidarity in our community. We cannot get used to atrocities of wars in Ukraine. That's why I appeal to all members of our community, especially now when Ukrainian homes, hospitals, and schools are under shelling and bombardment. Let's continue our support to Ukraine and the Ukrainians. Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, dear lecturers, because we still need to learn. We are about to start a new academic year. I'd like all of us to continue learning of all these languages, which are the languages of our university. According to what was said by Thomas Masaryk, the more languages you know, the more human you are. Dear Rector, thank you very much for the speech. Just at the beginning of the new academic year. Ladies and gentlemen, the new academic year is also an opportunity to meet new people joining our university, and the ceremony like this is the right moment to welcome wholeheartedly all these people. I know that not all academic and representatives of academia and lecturers could join us today, but still we would like to extend our warm welcome. I would like to ask you to stand up, because this year we are honored to welcome Agnieszka Białek, Dr. Katarzyna Cybulska, Dr. Edyta Czepielewska, Dr. Marcin Łączka, habilitated Dr. Magdalena Makarewicz-Wujec, Katarzyna Rembelska, Dr. Stanisław Nieposty, Dr. Andrzej Pająk, Dr. Magdalena Płonka, habilitated Dr. Robert Skoczek, and habilitated Dr. Michał Wilczewski. But ladies and gentlemen, these are not all people whom I'd like to welcome, because our director said the composition of our academia has been expanded by people from all corners of the world. They are not with us physically, but I'm sure that they listen carefully to our live broadcast. That's why I'd like to welcome all of them, and I'm sorry for my pronunciation, but these are people from many distant places all around the world, and names are in different languages. So let me welcome Ankit Atkan, Pooja Haudhari, Darek Haftor, Havezali bin Iqbal Hussain, Mario Arturo Ruiz Estrada, Dr. Payback Okhazi, Dr. Justin Paul, Dr. Marin Kostkare, Justas Strejmikis. Good morning, welcome to the community of the University of Economics and Human Sciences. And now the rector will hand over the nominations to deans and pro-deans.
To bardzo przyjemna chwila.
It's a great moment just to explain. Some of deans continue their mission, but as the structure of the university has changed and new faculties were created, they need to be nominated once again. And that's why I welcome Dr. Barbara Sypniewska, who let me hand over your nomination to the position of the Dean of the Faculty of Business. Dr. Rafał Kusy, who is nominated to the function of Pro-Dean of the Faculty of Business. Dr. Giuseppe Leonardi is nominated to the function of the Dean of the Faculty of the Human Sciences. Dr. Małgorzata Foryś-Nogala is nominated to the function of Pro-Dean of the Faculty of the Human Sciences. Professor Dr. Tomasz Kownacki is nominated as Pro-Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences. Professor Dr. Agnieszka Wyszkowska is nominated as Pro-Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences. Dr. Magdalena Płonka is nominated to the function of Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Art. Professor Dr. Bożena Waszkiewicz-Robak is nominated as Pro-Dean of the Medical Sciences and Healthcare Faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from new faculties, as I mentioned during my speech, we have set up the Academic Council of the University of Economics and Human Sciences that will precede the process of nominating and granting professional titles, and that's why I nominate Mieczysław Klopa as the chairman of this council. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the expanded doctoral school, let me nominate Professor Radosław Wiśniewski. There are such moments when you want and there's a need to say thank you to all people who did a lot in order to allow our university to expand, who had their brick in this wall of development and whose function came to an end. And let me present such a person, Professor Mieczysław Klopa. I would like to thank you for your service for 3 years as the director of the Institute of Psychology. Ladies and gentlemen, there are such situations when, as a rector, I'm looking for a person to nominate them to a given function. It's very difficult to find the right person. And the person who last year accepted the function of the director of doctoral school, despite the fact that because of their personal reason, it was very difficult for them. So that person saved my life for this year. And for that reason, I'd like to thank Professor Jacek Sobczak. Director, dear professor, let me extend my gratitude for performance of this function in a situation where there was no other person, and you, despite all difficulties in your personal life, you decided to help me.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, about 6 months ago, Professor Stanisław Stadniczenko, because of his health condition, he had to resign as director of the legal faculty, and we found another person who decided to substitute him, despite the fact we were convinced that this institute will disappear. It will disappear because we will acquire new academic categories and we will create the academic council instead of academic institutes. So for that reason, let me thank Professor Paweł Sitko for accepting the function of the director of the legal institute, despite the fact that he knew that it will last only a few months. Thank you. Professor couldn't join us today, unfortunately, but we wanted to express our gratitude, so thank you, dear Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise to the academic anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. I would like to ask the Vice Rector, Professor Maciej Staniewski, and the Chairperson of the Scientific Council, Professor Ploppa, to present the diplomas and to award the diplomas. Please join us on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, The doctoral degree in the discipline of law is awarded to Łukasz Piebiak. The dissertation was supervised by Dr. Please join us on the stage, dear doctor. The doctoral degrees in the discipline of psychology is awarded to Adam Bosowski. The dissertation was supervised by Aleksandra Bołucka, Madam Aleksandra Bołucka. Dear doctors, we congratulate you on this doctoral degree, which is a culmination of a number of years of your hard work. We wish you, on behalf of the whole university, all the success in your professional career and development. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, as His Magnificence Rector has mentioned, this is the first year of some social projects carried out by our students. A year ago, you might remember, it was announced by His Magnificence Rector the contest for the best project, social project, and which was to be granted an award. We are to present the winners. I would like to invite Professor Tomasz Kownacki to present the winners and Professor Radosław Wiśniewski to present the winners of the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the chairperson of the jury of the best social project contest of the University of Economics and Human Sciences. It is my pleasure to announce that the project by the university, University Without Barriers, and Madam Dorota Seidler and Madam Maja Bajkwaj were responsible for carrying out this project. Please join us on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the results of the activities of the two ladies is available on our YouTube channel, but we also would like to present it in front of you now.
Akademia Ekonomiczno-Humanistyczna w Warszawie to uczelnia.
The University of Economics and Human Sciences is disabled people friendly, but also friendly to those who have any special needs. My name is Krzysztof Jagiełło. I am disabled and I use a wheelchair, and I've been using it for 15 years. The University of Economics and Human Sciences is well adjusted. It is a perfect place for people with a disability like mine. We have at our disposal a gym with some special activities, physical activities dedicated to people with physical disabilities. We are coached by physiotherapists and special coaches. The university has a number of projects and programs for students with disabilities. For example, free psychological sessions, free coach sessions, to name just a few. My name is Toman Bong, and I have a number of disabilities, and I am a student of the university. This university is very friendly towards my disabilities. All the elevators are equipped with speakers and other facilities, such as the Braille alphabet markings. All the candidates who would like to apply to become students can enjoy the support of our staff to move around this modern building, but also can count on our support in filling all the necessary questionnaires. At the territory of the university, we have a quite spacious canteen. You can eat here. There are no barriers here, architectural barriers. It is quite easily accessible for anybody with disabilities. A person who can't see, a person who can't hear, can count on educational support by the academic staff. We are assisted in making notes, moving around the building, and some general support in obtaining non-digital materials, didactic materials. But also we can also enjoy a number of digital materials. We are assisted so that all the materials are available to us, and we can use them. People with disabilities who are our students can borrow this special type of equipment to study at our university, but also can enjoy grants, non-refundable grants for the whole period of their studies, depending on the degree of their disability. We also offer a didactic assistant as well as some psychological support within the project, within the framework of a project that is entitled Uczelnia na Medal, a medal awarded at university. At the university, we have this garage with a car park with selected car areas parking area for disabled people. Apart from all those assets, we at the university are able to study online, which is a great help and a great asset for those whose vision is impaired. It is worth studying at the University of Economics and Human Sciences. Madam Maja Bagłaj and Madam Anna and the other lady received the award for this for this social project. Dear students, you are about to witness one of the most important moments here. You will take the vow and you will become the official members of the community of the University of Economics and Human Sciences. Please rise. The Immatriculation Act will be conducted by the Vice Rector, Professor Szczepankowski, and the students. Please listen to the act, to the Immatriculation Act, and then please say we vow. And the Vice Rector for International Cooperation, Professor Anna Janos-Antczak, will conduct the vow, the oath in English. So, I solemnly vow that I will persistently aim at acquiring knowledge and developing my own personality, respect academic laws and customs, and take care of with my whole behavior, of the honor and dignity of the University of Economics and Human Sciences in Warsaw, with all my actions. Please vow. We vow. Thank you. The Immatriculation Act for non-Polish speaking students will be conducted by Professor Antczak. Vice Rector for International Affairs, please don't be afraid to vow, to take the vows.
Reading, please say, I vow. Thank you. I solemnly vow that I will persistently aim at acquiring knowledge and developing my own personality, respect academic laws and customs, and take care of the honor and dignity of the University of Economics and Human Sciences in Warsaw with all my actions. Thank you.
Dear students, now you are members of our community, but please don't take your seats yet. Please. To be able to open officially the academic year, I would like to ask His Magnificence Rector to open officially to declare this academic year open. I declare the academic year 2022-2023 at the University of Economics and Human Sciences open. Quod bonum Felix Faustum fortunatumque sit. And this is the moment when you can applaud.
Bardzo proszę o zajęcie miejsc.
Please take your seats.
Drodzy studenci,
Dear students, you are now officially members of our community, and this year, academic year, has been started and open. So now this is the time for wishes. We wish you all the success in gaining knowledge, getting knowledge, expanding your horizons and perspectives. We hope that this year is a year full of new experiences, new adventures and new friendships. And now I'd like to cordially invite Madame Grażyna Torbicka, who will deliver the inaugurational speech entitled Art to Find Your Own Way.
Magnificencje, szanowny panie rektorze.
His Magnificence, dear rectors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me to deliver this inaugurational speech. It is my pleasure and it is a great honor to me. I must say that I wondered what title I should give to this inaugurational speech. The art as the way of finding your own way. I would like to share with you some reflections, some thoughts, maybe some personal observations. That's something I would like to share with you. When accepting this invitation, I wanted to know whom I will address. This is a very important celebration. This is a very important event, and I know now that among audience we have mainly the students of the first year of this university, ladies students and gentlemen. So I was trying to recollect what was important and what matters to me when I started my studies at the academy, theatre academy, and I studied fine arts. And I remember this sentence by Professor Jerzy Timoszewicz, who was the lecturer. So he said, don't stop enjoying life. Don't stop enjoying life, culture and art, because this is going to be the subject of your studies, but your future work also. Please do admire. Don't stop admiring arts. Here at the university, we have different faculties, and I know that fine arts represents only one of the faculties, but I believe that there are still new emerging faculties and departments. Maybe art will be there. But please don't forget this sentence. Don't forget to have passion for art and for culture. I believe this is extremely important and must be extremely important to all of us. Let me also remind you this sentence by this Austrian economist and the winner of the Nobel Prize. His name was Friedrich August von Hayek, and he once said, you can't be a distinguished economist if you are only an economist. An economist who is only an economist is just an abundance of boredom, and that's it. An economist is also a specialist in human studies, because economy and economics requires this wide perspective. You want to develop your perspectives, your personality, and for that purpose, you need contact with culture and arts. Why is culture and arts? Why are they so important for us in our life? What are the benefits of enjoying culture? What are the benefits of going to the cinema, going to an exhibition or to a concert? What are the benefits are there any material benefits? Maybe losses, because you have to spend money on the ticket, and there is no guarantee that we will enjoy a given event. But there are some other benefits beyond the material things, beyond the material matters, invaluable benefits. I would call it emotional experience.
Nasz umysł jest
Our mind
złożonym zjawiskiem,
is a complex
że stanowi
phenomenon
najważniejszą część naszego życia.
and represents the most important element of our life. We are able to function on a daily basis thanks to our mind. We are able to analyze various events. We use it constantly, sometimes without even knowing how important the mind is for our life, how strongly it influences our environment and everything that happens around us. What is the role of art in it? Art influences us because a lot, because it determines our emotions, it determines our behavior, it determines the way we feel. You may also ask, what art are? What is it? What is the term? What is the definition of arts? How do you define it? Well, we may say that it is all that surrounds us in our life, all that is created, has been created by a human being, but also by the nature, because the nature creates art too. These are the emotions that happen and are born when contacting arts, and these emotions prove that this is the real art. A small digression that came to my mind when I listened to His Magnificence Rector, who was talking about what was in our hearts, the Ukraine. Of course, you remember the beginning of the Russian aggression in Ukraine, and you remember all those images from Ukraine broadcasted by all the possible media, both in Poland and internationally.
Pictures from Ukraine, from towns and cities, pictures of people and children. They were deeply moving, but we are living in a picture-based reality. We were moved, especially as it's just beyond our eastern border, that we talk about our immediate neighbors. But personally, I can remember the moment when the world could see the drawings of little children made in shelters, in basements. These pictures, these drawings were speaking for themselves, and they were more moving than any other picture. They were full of emotion and truth, and that's why their impact was so great. Was it art? Yes. So the art is everything that moves us. There are some concrete definitions defined and definitions made by the artists themselves or by thinkers, but they are very different. For example, Oscar Wilde told that art is the most intense sort of individualism he could see. The 20th century brought liberty to artists, openness, and on the verge of the 19th and 20th century, it was the moment when the artist can enjoy and be bothered, tortured with the liberty he was given. Emotional aspect, some mystery, thinking out of the box. This is the very essence of a piece of art, and these are the characteristics describing its value. So limitation and evaluation of art would be limitation of its liberty. It would set some boundaries which are not tolerated and accepted by arts. Some time ago, I could see street art, piece of art. Everything is a beauty, but not everyone can see it. It's a provocative sentence because it shows the perspective that not everyone is sensitive to see beauty. And I do not agree with that. I think that every human being has this sensitivity inside, but it does not pampered. Not everybody takes care of their sensitivity, and for that reason, we need to get in contact with art, to pamper your sensitivity to art, to accentuate it, to put an emphasis on it, despite all things that happen to us in everyday life, because being surrounded by art gives us an opportunity to train our sensitivity, and this is something I appreciate in my professional life and I highly recommend to other people. Being surrounded and getting in contact with art and developing of your sensitivity is very simple. If you take a look at a piece of art, if you're moved by a movie, if you listen to some piece of music and you can feel shivers down your spine, please reflect on that. What is the root cause of that? Why this specific play or film or movie or anything stirred some emotions? What was so touching in it? What kind of associations we have with our experience and with our life? So what is the connection between the piece of art and our life? This is the first step to get to know yourself, to know to define your emotions. If you can do it, that means you can get a hold on them. It's very important in your professional and academic life because it's very important to be able to control your emotion, to curb your feelings, and the analysis of your emotions through art may be a source of your strength. It's the same with contact with other people. Talking about arts with your friends and colleagues after leaving a theater or a movie theater, that makes you feel more. Very often we present our preference. We present our social and economic views. We talk about a piece of art, but in fact we talk about ourselves. And in such contact, we get to know and we get closer to other people. We become more tolerant if we can talk, if we can speak to another person who represents totally different views and opinions or has totally different feelings about watching a movie or getting in contact with the art. Sometimes it might be helpful in simple situations. And let me tell you a story, this possibility to get to know somebody after watching a piece of art together. It can protect us against some false friends or bad choices. I very often ask people, is it possible that piece of arts can change people? Very often people are very shy and timid and they don't want to tell, they want to change the world. I've been talking to Wojciech Marczewski, a famous director present at Dwa Brzegi Festival in Kazimierz Brzegi that I co-create for 16 years, and I strongly invite you to this festival. So during my talk to Wojciech Marczewski, this is the director of great movies like Dreszcze, Zmory, Ucieczka z kina Wolność. I asked him a question, can your movies change the world? And he didn't want to put it straightforward, but a young person stood up and said, one day I took my girlfriend to Cabaret by Bob Fosse, a great movie about the emergency of a Nazi, and the girl said, I was not moved by this movie at all. It doesn't mean a thing for me. And this young guy continued his story. I was very sad about that, but it was our last date. Because that meant that the art not only it can change the world because it changed the world of this young guy who stopped dating this girl, but that girl was very straightforward about her opinion. She was right to present her views, but that gave him a sign and that gave him an opportunity to get to know her in a totally different dimension. So they understood that they cannot set off on the same journey together. So maybe that's a sign that art can change our world and our contacts with other people. If you watch Guernica by Pablo Picasso in a group of people, each person can take something different from the same painting. It will depend on the culture they were brought in, the tradition, their life experience. And here in this university, which is really impressive, you bring together students of so many nations and from so many countries. And to all of you, this international context and relationship, getting to know different languages understood in metaphoric way, not only literally, not only in this linguistic dimension. These are different language and cultural codes that can be really nourishing. So for that reason, I think it's important to respect such moments when we can get in contact with art. And as that girl was right to say that she didn't like Cabaret by Bob Fosse, each and every of us by admiring Guernica by Pablo Picasso, they can interpret it freely as we wish, because that's also very great about interpretation of art, that you are free to interpret it as you wish. So the artist has prepared and has made a piece of art for anyone, no matter old or young, he or she representative of this or that confession. The art allows free interpretation, and that means, and let me go back to that, that the art gives you an opportunity to become more tolerant, more open. It requires us to open our minds and our imagination. It stirs curiosity about other people and cultures. It's a kind of catharsis to us, and it can have a therapeutic impact, because it reflects our traumas through traumas of the artist. And despite the fact that it's not entertaining, in such a case, it calms down and soothes our emotions. So in order to make it happen, artists and art need to be free, because only that the truth is guaranteed. The history knows many examples of art created upon request or order. It's a kind of manipulation. It's about steering the emotions of the recipients and propaganda at the end of the day. So in order to protect ourselves, to secure ourselves against emotional manipulation, it's worth training your sensitivity, the training of sensitivity, the analysis of the values that are important for you in your life, regardless, and independent thinking. Nobody needs to be a movie critic in order to stay in the realm of the art, which is so close to my heart. You don't need to be able to evaluate movies by Almodovar, Kieślowski, and so on and so forth. Creation is also a kind of conversation with yourself and with your insecurities and trauma. Michael Haneke, a great director, nominated in Cannes with the Golden Palm for the White Ribbon, and the creator of psychological thriller Funny Games. He told me one time that if it hadn't been for the creation of movies, and he started to make his movies very late because he graduated from theatrology, then philosophy and psychology. Then he was a screenwriter, but in his 40s he understood that it's not his path, and he started to make his own movies, and that's protected him from many hours in at the psychotherapist, because he gets free from his trauma and his insecurities. The associations which are stirred inside of us by the pieces of art, they are supportive in many different situations in life. So because we need to stop and analyze our emotions. Art is everywhere. You need to be able to see it. You need to learn to live harmoniously with art, and it will allow you to see how beautiful it is and how many emotions it can stir. So stop for a moment and focus on something that inspired you or that you enjoy. It's not to stop in one place, it's to cherish the moment, to enjoy the peace of the moment, and everyone can afford it. From my perspective, this is the greatest and the most tangible aspect of art, because in critical situations, in important situations, or in stressful moments, we can curb our emotions if we are able to get to know them. So don't stop with our inspirations and admiration, and let's train our sensitivity. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this inspiring speech and lecture, so deeply moving to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that is left is to encourage you to train your sensitivity. Hopefully, this little token of our gratitude is able to express it. The new academic year is about new beginnings, but it's also a new year. So the time has come to extend some wishes. We got a lot of wishes from many people who couldn't join us today for many reasons. For that reason, I'd like to ask for reading the letter of the mayor of the capital city of Warsaw, Rafał Trzaskowski. It will be read by Łukasz Świetnicki.
List prezydenta.
The letter of the mayor of the capital city of Warsaw, handed over to His Magnificency Konrad Janowski, the rector of the University of Economics and Human Sciences. Dear Rector, on the day of inauguration of the academic year 2022-2023, let me extend my wishes to all ladies and members of the University of Economics and Human Sciences, to the members of academia. I wish you a lot of success and satisfaction from your work, and to your students, especially those who are just joining this outstanding ensemble. I would wish you to follow your path. The last academic year was difficult to all of us because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and I'm proud of the academic environment who stood up to the challenge and supported Ukraine in many ways and supported the Ukrainians in all possible aspects. Together we co-create a community, and each of us can have their contribution to it. I hope that to all of you who are just starting their studies, and to all other students, the period of studies will be a time of atoms and looking for your life path, solution of new challenges, and acquiring knowledge. Let me congratulate to all of you, members of the University of Economics and Human Sciences, and I wish you all the best in the next academic year. Your faithfully, Rafał Trzaskowski.
Zapraszam pana Przemysława.
Now I would like to invite Mr. Przemysław Rudzki from the Human Studies Academy to read the letter from the governor of the Mazovian region, Mr. Konstanty Radziwiłł. The letter of the governor of the Mazovian region, Konstanty Radziwiłł, to His Magnificence Rector of the University of Economics and Human Sciences in Warsaw. Ladies and gentlemen, this academic year will represent new challenges due to various political events and social events of global scope. The academic circles have proven that is capable of reacting promptly and adequately to the situation by adopting new solutions, introducing new methodology, and initiating new research projects. At the same time, improving the network of academic network and contacts with international academic circles, making at the same time these academic circles responsible and resistant to any irregularities. The continuity of intellectual reflection is very needed and required to be able to evaluate properly the values which represent the foundation of our civilization. I would like to extend my cordial greetings and wishes, and I wish you all the carrying out of all your projects. I hope that you will be able to deliver your goals and the academic stuff. I hope that you will be able to deliver the academic and research results, and I wish you all the success in delivering your objectives as students also. And my cordial words from the governor of the Mazovian region, Konstanty Radziwiłł. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your presence during this celebration. We are glad you have accepted the invitation. Please stay in the room. Dear students, please don't leave the room yet. The official part of this event is about to finish, but please stay seated until we give you a very clear sign that you can leave the room. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. The rector's entourage will leave. The standard bearers step forward.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite all our guests and our